The day I was born was my mom's worst day ever. According to her, when I popped out, she nearly fainted on the spot.
No! What is that? This is not what I signed up for!
The nurses rushed over thinking something was wrong with me. Nope, that's just how my mom reacts to, well, everything. Ugh, mom with extra drama.
She looks like a wrinkled potato! Someone take her back, please!
Yep, that was her first impression of me, a literal potato. Meanwhile, I was just lying there, fresh out of the womb, probably blinking up at her like, yeah, lady, I'm real. Deal with it. Mrs. Hart, your baby is perfectly healthy. She's
ugly! Where are the glossy cheeks, the perfect hair? She doesn't even have eyebrows! Please give me my beautiful baby and keep her in the nursery, please!
And guess what she did next? She tried to pretend that she only had one baby. I kid you not, she grabbed my twin sister Lexi, who of course was the perfect baby straight out of a diaper commercial, and made a run for it. She was halfway to the parking lot when a nurse caught up to her. Excuse me, ma'am! Ma'am! You forgot your baby! Talk about feeling like lost luggage from baggage claim. Now here's where my dad came in, just in time to save the day.
Hand her to me. How could you leave our baby behind? And she is perfect.
And Mom really lost it.
You think she's perfect? Have you gone blind, Jonathan? My Lexi is the perfect one.
Dad just ignored her meltdown. And from that moment on, Dad and I became inseparable. He took me home while Mom stayed, obsessed with Lexi, the beautiful twin. I didn't mind though. Dad was all I needed. He was my superhero, and he wasn't just any superhero. He was the coolest one ever. You see, my dad was not only a top engineer who built robots for a tech company, at home he could fix anything, from a broken toaster to my broken heart. In fact, I thought he had superpowers, like X-ray vision or the ability to talk to machines. I used to imagine him saving the world from aliens with his high-tech gadgets. And I believe that if there ever was a time when the world needed saving, Dad would swoop in and save the day. Clearly, I was his biggest fan, but all that changed when I was 7. Dad had just finished building his masterpiece, a super intelligent AI robot. It was supposed to be the most amazing thing ever, a robot that could do anything from solving complex math problems to playing my favorite games and even home chores. How cool! The big event was being held at the auditorium of Dad's company, and everyone was there, including Mom and Lexi. But they were more interested in taking selfies than watching the presentation.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Nova, my proudest invention and the future of robotics.
Smiling, he hit the power button and Nova's eyes flickered to life. It was supposed to wave, maybe even say hello. Instead, its head spun around like it was possessed, sparks flying from its neck. The next thing I knew, it exploded. Just boom! Right in front of everyone, and chaos erupted. Dad! Are you okay? I rushed to the stage as the crowd gasped. It was a complete disaster. The smoke alarm started blaring, and Mom and Lexi, they were still trying to get the best angle for their selfie. Ugh, I can't believe it. Hello, I'm Zoe. You just witnessed the day our lives went up in smoke. And you know my confession will literally blow your mind, so stay tuned. Also, like and subscribe to your favorite channel, Confession Diary. After the robot disaster, Dad lost his job and his reputation in a matter of a day. And Mom couldn't have cared less. She was more concerned with staying young and popular on social media. And Lexi literally followed in her footsteps. I mean, that girl could contour before she could even spell contour. While me? Well, I spent all my time in Dad's garage trying to help him fix Nova the robot. Daddy, what if we attach these wheels to the robot?
Circuits, motherboards. It used to be music. Now it's just noise.
Oh yeah, did I forget to mention? After Dad lost everything, he lost his mind too. Nothing he said made sense anymore. Don't worry, Dad. I'll make you proud one day. I promise. Just forget about the stupid robot already. Did you see the new TikTok trend? It's very cutesy. Very... Ugh, will you shut up about that already? I'm trying to study something here.
Studying gives you wrinkles, Zoe, and you'll become a little more ugly. Ew.
Yeah, it also makes you go crazy. Just like Dad. Don't call him that. He's only sad. When I'll fix Nova, Dad will be fine again. You need to fix yourself first. You look like a walking dumpster. My sister was mean as a witch, but she was kind of right. Between school and exploring in Dad's garage, I kind of let myself go. I was the girl who showed up to class with mismatched socks, sweater on backward, and probably a smudge of engine grease somewhere on my face. But with so much research to do, my looks were not a priority. And of course, Lexi never let me forget it. I'm I'm too busy for fashion. Dad needs me. Whatever. Just stay away from me at school. I have a reputation to maintain. With that, she rolled her eyes and flipped her hair in my face. Story of my life. At school, I felt like a ghost. No one noticed me, as I was always buried in some book. But that changed at the beginning of junior year when a new boy joined our school. Lucas was the king of cool. He had the looks, the charm, and athletic skills that made everyone swoon. But the strangest thing, he actually noticed me.
Hey, nice socks. Are they a new trend?
What can I say? I'm a trendsetter. Just wait, next week everyone will be copying me. How delusional. That will only happen if you're setting trends in the world of circus clowns. Hello, I'm Lexi. You must be new.
Hello, Lexi. Bye, Lexi.
You're so funny. Anyway, you have to come to my TikTok party this weekend. It's gonna be epic.
Sorry, but I already have plans.
Oh, come on. You can't be serious. What could be more interesting than my party?
Actually, I'm hoping
Zoe.
Zoe will show me around. I'm dying to know where she got those socks.
Whatever, suit yourself. Good luck hanging out in the loser corner. As Lexi walked away embarrassed, I smiled at my new friend. Looking back, I should have suspected something was off. I mean, since when did anyone pick me over Lexi? I'm sorry, my sister is…
The witchiest witch who ever witched? Yeah, I can see that. So how about you show me around? I'm Lucas, by the way.
In the weeks that followed, Lucas and I spent tons of time together. At school, I'd watch him play basketball while I studied my dad's research notes. He'd even try to get my attention, but I was so distracted by my research.
What's with all the scribbles?
Oh, it's just my dad's old research. I'm trying to find out what went wrong with Nova.
Nova?
Lucas looked fascinated, so I ended up spilling everything to him and also about my project, and much to my surprise, he was impressed.
This is amazing, Zoe. You've got to keep working on it.
Thanks. I've been planning on gathering parts from scrapyards, but I'm afraid to go alone.
I'll go with you.
And so we spent weekends scavenging scrapyards, hunting for parts, and developing a bond that made me enjoy working on Nova even more. Like this one time we were digging around when I found an old engine perfect for my project, but just as I was about to celebrate, I heard a low growl behind me. Lucas? Please tell me that's your stomach.
Zoe, whatever you do, don't move.
Just then, the largest dog I'd ever seen emerged. And by large, I mean this thing could have doubled as a small bear. Okay, cool. No big deal. We can just, walk away slowly and hope we don't become its next snack. But before I could start my escape, another one appeared, and another one. Soon we were surrounded by a trio of dogs that looked like they'd been lifting weights. Lucas glanced at me, his expression calm, which was weird because I was already drafting my farewell speech in my head.
Zoe, stop talking, now.
And then, get this, Lucas crouched down and held out his hand like some sort of dog whisperer. The biggest one sniffed him, and I swear I saw the beast smile as it wagged its tail. Meanwhile, I was frozen in place trying my best not to pee my pants. Lucas? Are they wagging their tails because they like us or because they think we're gonna taste like bacon?
Just stay calm and take my hand. They won't hurt you.
The moment stretched out a little longer than I expected. Lucas still holding onto my hand, our faces inches apart. The dogs now happily wagging around us, and for a second, I forgot about the dogs entirely. Thanks, for saving me.
Anytime.
After that intense afternoon, I rushed home buzzing with excitement to finally test the engine I discovered. But the second I reached for my notebook, my stomach dropped. It was nowhere to be seen. No, this can't be happening. Frantic, I tossed everything in a mad scramble.
Zoe, please stop. What's happening?
Someone was in here. As I kept searching, Lucas tried to help, but I already knew the truth. My blueprints, my research, everything was gone. And I knew exactly who stole them. Oh, that perfect glitter-covered, selfie-obsessed brat of a sister! I know she has something to do with this, I just know it! I was furious. Not just regular furious. I mean volcano erupting, hurricane tearing through a town furious. Without even thinking, I bolted out of the garage and headed straight for Lexi's room. Lucas was right behind me, calling me, but all I saw was red. Lexi! What do you want, potato? You stole my notes! Where are they? What are you talking about? Why would I want your boring nerd notes? I wouldn't be caught dead with that mess.
Zoe, calm down. Let's just…
But I wasn't calm. Oh no! Calm was not in the room with us. Don't play dumb, Lexi. Just because you're mom's favorite doesn't mean you get to sabotage everything I've worked for. Oh, please. No one cares about your stupid project. Now move. I have to go live. My fans are waiting for me. Ugh! I was boiling inside, so I snapped and lunged at her, grabbing for her precious phone like a total maniac. Hey! What the… Lexi shrieked, but my hand had already connected with the phone, sending it flying out of her grip. I heard the crack before I even saw it. Her phone hit the ground, screen first, and shattered. My phone! You're insane, Zoe! Do you know how many selfies you just destroyed? I don't care about your stupid phone. Admit it, you've hated me from the start because you're jealous that I'm smarter than you. She stared at me for a moment, her face shifting. Then she smirked like she knew something I didn't. Jealous of you? Oh, Zoe, honey, you really don't get it, do you?
What are you talking about?
You want to know why Lucas even bothered talking to you? Why he suddenly started paying attention to the weird sister?
My heart stopped. What do you mean?
Lucas and I had a little bet. Lexi flipped her hair like she hadn't just dropped a bombshell the size of a nuke.
A bet?
My voice cracked and I felt my stomach sink into my shoes. Lucas, who had been standing back like a deer caught in headlights, finally stepped forward.
Lexi, that's enough.
But Lexi wasn't done. Not by a long shot. Yeah, a bet. Lucas and I met right before school started, and when I told him about you, he thought it would be hilarious to see how long he could stand hanging out with, well, you.
I felt like I'd been slapped. I turned to Lucas, my mind spinning. Is this true?
Zoe, I can explain.
I can't believe this! How could you?
Oh, poor Zoe. Always thinking she's a genius. Newsflash, you're the loser, twin.
My heart shattered into a million pieces.
Lexi, that's enough!
Lucas, please tell me she's lying.
Lucas looked down at the ground, unable to meet my eyes. His silence was all the answer I needed. I staggered back, the weight of everything crashing down on me.
I didn't know what to do. I wanted to scream, to cry, to punch something, or maybe all three at once.
Before Lexi could say anything else, I turned and bolted out of her room, angry tears streaming down my face. I ran down the street without even looking where I was going, my mind racing with a million different thoughts. A bet? Really? The humiliation was unbearable. But just as I was about to cross the street, tires screeched on the pavement. My heart jumped into my throat as a black SUV came out of nowhere, speeding toward me like something out of a nightmare.
Zoe, watch out!
The next thing I knew, Lucas was shoving me out of the way. I stumbled, landing hard on the grass, the SUV screeching to a stop inches from where I'd been standing. I was too stunned to move. My pulse pounded in my ears as Lucas helped me up.
Zoe, are you okay? I'm sorry. About the bet. About everything. I was stupid and
Lucas, I appreciate you saving my life and all, but I am still mad at you.
I didn't mean for it to go that far. I thought—
No! You don't get to talk your way out of this. You and Lexi played me, made me feel like I was— nothing.
I never thought you were nothing.
Just leave, Lucas.
He opened his mouth to say something, but I walked away, my head full with questions. Who was driving that SUV? Was it just an accident, or was there something more to it? And Lucas, was he involved in all this? Clearly he and Lexi had been working together all along, right? I took a deep breath, blinking back tears as I reached the garage. Maybe I wasn't ready to forgive Lucas, but right now, I needed someone I could trust. Someone who wouldn't play games with my heart. I needed my dad. I burst through the garage door, barely able to see through my tears, but the moment I saw my dad, it all came crashing down.
Dad, everything's falling apart. I need you.
Oh, there she is, my little Einstein, back from the galaxy of teenage turmoil.
Dad, I don't know what to do. Lexi, Lucas, Nova, everything's a mess.
You know, this reminds me of the time I tried to reverse engineer a toaster and it tried to electrocute me. Sometimes things just zap you, sweetheart.
I couldn't help it. Through my tears, a laugh escaped. Of course, that's the kind of advice I'd get from Dad. A toaster story. Dad, why are you like this? I miss you so much. I wish you could talk to me like a normal dad. As soon as I said that, Dad's usual blank expression was replaced by something almost serious.
I'll always keep you safe, Zoe, even from the men in suits.
Wait, who now?
Men in suits. You know, the ones sneaking around in that big black SUV outside.
How do you know about the SUV? But he didn't answer me. He just went back to staring at the wall. Later that night, after Dad's cryptic SUV comment, I tried to brush it off. Maybe he was just being, well, Dad. But something just felt off. At school, Lucas tried to talk to me again, but I brushed him off again. Meanwhile, I couldn't get that scary SUV out of my head. A weird, uneasy feeling churned in my stomach. Fast forward a few days later, and bam! I walked into the garage to find men in suits. And their faces, absolutely terrifying, like they just walked into a crime scene. I barely had time to react before they grabbed me, and yeah, Nova too. I fought back like a mad woman, but these dudes were professionals, and let's face it, I'm not exactly Bruce Lee. They tossed me into the back of an SUV and sped off to some abandoned warehouse. Of course, it was a warehouse. Villains are nothing if not predictable. Inside, they practically shoved me into a chair and loomed over me like cartoon supervillains.
You're going to finish Nova for us, or you'll never see your family again.
You guys really need to work on your threats. It's so cliche. And that's when one of them waved a wrench in my face.
Fix the robot, now!
Okay, fine. Jeez. I sighed and got to work with the shiny new parts they gave me, but about an hour later, I heard some noise. At first, I thought it was just my imagination until the door flew open and in walked Dad and Lucas.
Zoe, you're okay?
Dad, how did you find me?
Zoe, I need to tell you something.
Cue dramatic pause, and then the suited guys sprung into action, and before I knew it, we were in the middle of a full-blown brawl. Lucas, Dad, and me against these wannabe secret agents.
Stop attacking us! I already called the police and they'll be here any second.
At the mention of police, the bad guys took off just as Dad hugged me. Dad, who were those people? What's going on?
Listen, Zoe, there's something I never told you about Nova and why it really failed.
Oh, this better be good.
Nova wasn't just a robot. It was a very advanced robot. It was designed to gather data on people, and the company I worked for wanted to use it for surveillance, and then sell that data to the highest bidder, governments, corporations, anyone.
Wait, so you're telling me the company wanted to turn Nova into some sort of spy robot? Like, for evil schemes?
Exactly. When I realized what they were planning, I tried to stop them, but they forced me to keep working on Nova. When it malfunctioned during the unveiling, I was so relieved.
My stomach dropped. What? All these years? Why didn't you tell me the truth? I've been trying to fix it for you, Dad.
I had to keep you safe, Zoe. I've been so afraid that they'd find out you were working on Nova. That's why I stole the research notes.
Wait, what? That was you? But I accused Lexi and... Wait a minute, Dad, you don't sound crazy anymore.
Well, that's because I'm not crazy. I've never been crazy. I've been faking it because I needed the company to think I was no longer of use to them.
Holy shit, Vers. Can somebody say bombshell? I didn't know what to say. My brain, total mush. Before I could even process the news, Lucas stepped forward.
We should probably get out of here before they come back.
Right, evil henchman, warehouse. Yeah, this wasn't exactly story time, so we hightailed it out of there. We pulled up to the house just as Mom and Lexi were arriving home from a party.
Do you even know how humiliating it was to leave the party? I was this close to a selfie with the mayor.
I was kidnapped. Sorry it ruined your night. Anyway, Dad needs to tell you guys something. And so Dad told them exactly what he told me, and they looked shocked for 5 seconds.
Anyway, next time you get abducted, just text us. Save us the drama.
Mom, this was more than dramatic. We almost died tonight.
Exactly. So selfish. You know, I absolutely hate funerals. Also, I don't look good in black.
I threw my hands up in defeat. Unbelievable. Oh, and I'll accept your apology any minute now. Apology? Oh, yes. Lexi, I'm sorry I accused you of stealing my notes when it was Dad who took them. Oh, wow. You actually apologized. This is definitely going on Instagram. Lexi! Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, too. For everything I said. That bet was really stupid. Lucas likes you, by the way.
For a second, it almost felt like we were having a moment, but then she went back to scrolling her phone.
Some things would never change. A few weeks later, things had settled down, but then Dad blew the whistle on the evil tech company. He went public with the whole Nova conspiracy, and it turned into a major scandal. Now he's doing TV interviews left and right, becoming a bit of a celebrity. Of course, Mom tags along just in case she gets her own 15 minutes of fame. So far, nada, but she's working on it. As for Nova, Dad and I are rebuilding it together. Minus the creepy surveillance features, obviously. Nova 2.0 is going to be better, smarter, and 100% less evil. It's kind of our new thing. Father-daughter bonding through tech. Normal families go on hikes, we build robots. And Lucas? Well, let's just say I'm not 100% sure I trust him after everything, but he's been trying to prove himself. He's definitely got a long way to go, but hey, at least he's trying. And just like that, things have started feeling normal. Well, as normal as life can get when your dad's a famous ex-mad scientist, your sister is a TikTok queen, and you're rebuilding a robot that almost ruined everything. But if there's one thing I learned, it's that normal is overrated.